So this slide is just showing a bit of, just to show us some, let's make examples. What might be simple. For example, I say this gentle, trusted anticline. This is a reverse system. To, another kind where you may have had more than one phase of deformation. And then yet to, if you follow all the way to the right, this obviously had at least two phases of structuration in this area. And these all have direct impact on whether our trap will work or whether it's not going to work. So the extent and sequence of deformation of any rock piece has some consequence basically, and the outcome sometimes may vary depending on whether it's a simple deformation or one cycle of deformation, or if things continued and what was originally a working trap had become ruptured through time. So for this, just a quick one in terms of genetic trap styles. On the upper left, we're looking at a trusted anticline. It's not actually a great example of an anticline play, but just trusted anticline. On the Beno, we have the subtrust play, and then to the right, we have a combination of that. We have subtrust play, we have a trusted anticline play, and you can actually argue that we have a simple, faulted rollover anticline or faulted rollover play. If you're looking at, if you think of it as a an extensional system, I'm talking about the figure on the right. The next slide has a stubborn conformity play, which I'll just show you. Okay, so this one, I'm going to walk you through it in a very, just walk with me on this. Follow the colors. Thinking about this, think about it in terms of the polyphase history of this area. So at a particular time, we had an early forethrust. If you focus on, by the way, to the left is the hinterland, and then to the right is the foreland, right? So you're going more basinwards if you're going to the right, and then to the left is more towards the hinterland. So at the early phase, we had, if you follow the arrows, the black here would tell us that we had the first deformation was more of a creation of forethrust in the early phase. And then at a particular time, T2, we had a late back thrust systems, which could be as a result of anything, maybe space constraints or, some, whatever you have, movement in the opposite direction, depending on what the stress regime of that basin and stress direction was at that second time. So forethrust followed by late back thrust. And then eventually we had, much we had a post-kinematic erosion and layering of a body material, which we see says poor overburden seal. So if you keep this picture in mind, you see that we have a number of sub-unconformity plays generated. And that's from what we see, if you look at the outcome, it tells us that we have an unsuccessful trapping configuration, mainly because of the erosion that came in and just, changed the whole story. So this is how you may have the right configuration, but the question is, what is the surrounding material around this this trapping configuration? What is their nature, their mechanical seal capacity? Have we exceeded their capillary, entry pressures? What if it's a normal, if it's an extensional system, what is the amount of offset that we have and stuff like that? So if you put all of this together, it helps us, better understand whether our trap will work or why we are seeing what we are seeing in terms of the hydrocarbon type in that particular trap. So let's move on to will I find hydrocarbon. Let's look at some examples. So this is just a very nice looking configuration. I said nice because it's not just because we have the trap, because we have hydrocarbon shown in there, both oil and gas. Oil is green, gas is red here. So very quickly we see, for one, the one there means trusted anticline play. That's in it, if you think about it in terms of genetics. And then two will be the stratigraphic pinch out play, and then 3 will be a subthrust play. So this is just an example of how in a polyphase or in a multi-phase deformed setting, you have different trap styles or different trapping configurations, and each of them come with their different, of course, risk, and property, of course, in terms of the size of hydrocarbon, so the chance that you still find it there and stuff like that.